Hi there, and here are KYN's top stupid people news stories this week.
Dublin Live reports that a construction worker was removed from a building site after a video went viral of the man dropping a bag of his own poop off a crane in Dublin, Ireland. In the video, the man reveals a red and blue plastic bag and jokes about the joys of being a crane driver.
The joys of being a crane driver. Ring a pudding there, boys.
He then drops the bag onto a rooftop directly underneath the crane while laughing hysterically. The bag landed near a skylight, after which the man zoomed in to reveal that the contents had exploded on impact, leaving a big mess. After management got wind of the incident, the culprit was removed from the job site. The project manager explained that the man was working on the site through a subcontractor and will never be able to work on any of the company's sites again. The video has been shared across various social media platforms and has been viewed tens of thousands of times. Some viewers are finding it to be funny to watch. One user said, "I'm going to hell for laughing." Others, however, felt differently, with many calling for the crane operator to be fired for littering. One user said, "What a pig of a man to do that. Really hope he gets fired." Well, I guess you could say that the construction worker was caught brown-handed.
Ars Technica reports that the Food and Drug Administration is alerting Americans to the potential dangers of at-home COVID-19 tests after receiving reports of people misusing them, resulting in injuries. In a safety communication posted on their website, the FDA said it had received reports of injuries after people used the liquid test solution in the COVID kit incorrectly. At-home tests all have slightly different protocols, but they often involve combining a nasal swab sample with the liquid test solution on a test card. According to the FDA, some people have been using the liquid test solution as eye drops, or have even been sticking it up their noses. The FDA also reported that some children had been injured after putting test components in their mouth or swallowing the solution. Said the FDA on their website, the liquid solutions may include chemical ingredients that help the test work properly or act as preservatives. The test chemicals can be irritating or toxic if they get on your skin, nose, or eyes, or if they are swallowed. It's unclear how many people have been injured by these testing snafus or how serious their injuries were. However, the FDA would like you to stop it. They recommend that you keep your test kits out of reach of pets and small children. And once you're ready to use your kit, make sure you read the directions and follow them. They also recommend that you keep the solution away from your skin, nose, mouth, and eyes. And of course, do not swallow it. At-home COVID-19 tests have become an important and convenient tool that people can use to check if they or a family member are currently infected. They're also perfectly safe to use when you follow the directions.
A climate change activist group called Just Stop Oil has been blocking oil terminals in the UK, demanding that the government stops new oil and gas projects. The group has made the news for the lengths that they will go in order to stand against expanding oil and gas production in the UK, going so far as to tie themselves to goalposts during Premier League games, locking themselves onto oil drums, and even gluing themselves onto roadways in order to block access to the oil terminals. But 22-year-old student and anti-oil activist Nathan McGovern took it to another level while appearing on an LBC News Talk radio show hosted by Tom Swarbrick. The two had been discussing climate change and other interventions planned by Just Stop Oil when Mr. McGovern decided to take action right there on the live broadcast, claiming that media outlets such as LBC have failed to hold the government accountable on the climate emergency. McGovern pulled out a glue stick, poured glue onto his hand, and then grabbed the microphone in front of him. Swarbrick kept his composure and even smiled about the situation, but the show was taken off the air for several minutes in order to move to a different location. McGovern issued a statement afterwards that included this quote: "The media has a duty and obligation to hold the government to account and sound the alarm on the emergency we are in, but refuse to do so. If they won't use their microphones to fight for ordinary people like me will." But the best comment may have come from Swarbrick himself, who posted and then apparently deleted this note from Twitter. The irony, of course, is that glue is an oil-based product.
Arizona Daily Sun reported in March that a 28-year-old man out of Brooklyn, New York, named Philip Vasto, called 911 when he became lost on a mountain range in northern Arizona. The next day, he did it again. Vasto was visiting on business when he decided that he would attempt to summit Humphreys Peak in Flagstaff. Standing at nearly 13,000 feet, Humphreys Peak is the tallest in Arizona. Using YouTube as well as the trail guide app All Trails for research, Vasto believed he could reach the summit in 2 to 3 hours. However, most of his research pertained to trail conditions in milder seasons and did not reflect the snowy conditions that he would face in early March. He began his first attempt at 2:30 in the afternoon and struggled to keep his bearing in the heavy snow. It was very easy to get off the trail and fall into the snow, he said. When night began to fall and not being equipped with a light source, Vasto became increasingly concerned. By about 6:50 p.m., he called 911 and reported that he was lost on the trail but would try to navigate his way back. Fortunately, the search and rescue unit from the Coconino County Sheriff's Office was dispatched. They found Vasto and spoke to him about the dangers of hiking without proper equipment and planning. They also encouraged him to wait a couple of months and revisit the trail in a better season. Well, less than 24 hours later, Vasto decided not to heed that advice and attempted to summit Humphreys Peak again. This time he started at about 9 a.m. He said, "I was thinking if I start early in the morning, I'll have all the time in the world to reach the summit." By about 3:30 in the afternoon, he had yet to reach the summit, and soon after, he decided to turn around. The reason why I turned back, what was slowing me down so much, was just how powerful the wind was blowing, he said. On the way back, he slipped off the trail and suffered minor abrasions to his leg. He then discovered that his phone only had 5% of its battery life left, since he had been using it as his primary navigation tool. So at about 5 p.m., he called 911 again. This time, because of the increasing winds and the overnight forecast, the search and rescue team had to request assistance from the Northern Air Rescue Unit, which sent out a helicopter to rescue Vasto. And this time, the search and rescue team encouraged him to not attempt the hike again. The day after his second rescue, Vasto took to Instagram to post about his experience. He uploaded pictures of himself smiling on the snow-capped mountain and wrote, "I highly advise not attempting Humphreys Peak in the winter." He added, "After all, life isn't worth losing for a cool Instagram picture." One thing Vasto didn't do was detail on Instagram how he had called 911 twice. He also didn't have to foot the bill. In Arizona, search and rescue operations cost about $1,000 an hour and are funded by the state taxpayer dollars. When asked by the Daily Sun about that notable omission, Vasto said he could adequately tell his story on social media without the full details. He said, "We make posts on social media about how we want others to see us." So, is Vasto finished with Humphreys Peak? Apparently not. He plans to return to the trail in May.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I clicked the subscribe button. You really should too. If you like videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, subscribe now.